grab your mocha, grab your latte, grab your cappuccino, cocaine, whatever the hell you're drinking, and settle on in. It's the Coffee Shop Comics with your host today, Jobbers and Goons. If you guys didn't know, I just crossed 19,000 subs on my main channel. Make sure to go subscribe if you haven't already, as the hype train hopefully is real and we can keep building. Now, on this one, we're about to hit 3K, so make sure to like and subscribe and join the army here as well. Now, this is obviously a debunk, and I did majority of my debunks on my main channel, and I've decided I'm just going to go ahead and move that material over to this channel, as I just think it's a lot more fun. So, this debunk is taking a look at Archie Silver versus Xeno Trunks. Now, this was interesting because Death Battle took a couple liberties here and there that aren't bad, right? Like, they did some scaling that I just didn't expect from them, as typically they don't prescribe to certain metas and certain ways of scaling, but they kind of did here. Now, that part was interesting, and I'm going to kind of discuss that. But they kind of mishandled Trunks, in my opinion, and downplayed certain aspects to him, including the cosmology. So I'm kind of going to review the parts they messed up. I'm not saying I disagree with who wins, but again, as I've emphasized on my main channel, when we do debunks, win or lose, we're looking at how you arrived at that conclusion, right? Like, what's the explanation behind it? For example, you could say 1 + 1 is 2, right? Facts. Everything checks out. 1 + 1 is 2, all that. But then you could say the answer is 2, and I say why? And you say because goat milk arrived on Tuesday. You'd be like, what the fuck? I asked you about numbers. Right? Some explanations just don't make sense and don't add up. And a lot of times, in the case of Death Battle, that seems to be the case. So, first of all, let's get into some of the scaling they messed up on. So, first of all, both characters are higher dimensional in nature. They don't really use terms like outer versal, but obviously, they kind of were implying it with Silver, like they're implying he was beyond dimensions and stuff, which is fine, because something interesting about Archie is, Sonic, and like the creator of Sonic, is I believe at one point he actually stated himself that every material relating to Sonic is canon. So like any high tier scaling you can find for Sonic anywhere out there in his works and stuff can be used. So it can be applied to Silver as well. So you could easily make cases for being a higher dimensional being just using other scaling, right? And you could even say outer, high outer, whatever you want to do. The problem is when they were kind of giving these nods to the scaling of the cosmology for Silver, they just kind of said Dragon Ball Heroes and Xeno and all that doesn't really have a good cosmology or a fleshed out cosmology. Disagree with that. I actually find the Xeno cosmology really interesting. By the way, if someone wants to see the Xeno cosmology get scaled in my cosmology series on this channel, hit me up to purchase it. You can comment down below in the comment section or join my Discord. But getting back to this, we see that they say it's just like doesn't have any real evidence for being higher dimensional or that impressive. Not true. First of all, we know it's an infinite multiverse in Xeno Heroes. Like, there are infinite timelines, all that. So it's infinite multiversal off rip. And several characters scale above that, including Trunks. So even then, you got like infinite multiversal, which is insanely impressive and a lot more than they gave to Trunks. He also scales to characters that are above time, travel through time, and all that. So he does, by scaling, have a measurable speed. For some reason, they said Silver has a measurable, but not Trunks. Kind of dumb. By the way, I do want to address this. The creator of Silver or whatever said that Trunks would win. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if an author says someone would win in a cross-verse battle, given authors have been wrong plenty of times when it comes to scaling cross-verse. And as a Star Wars super fan, I just have to admit, I have one of the worst death of the authors in George Lucas. All the time he's saying stupid shit. So I don't care if one of the creators disagrees or agrees with the battle, okay? It doesn't matter. It has about as much merit as you and I. So I don't care. So getting back to this, he scales to characters that are easily immeasurable and stuff. So I don't get, like, he literally fought someone who can accidentally destroy all infinite timelines. Like Cronoa or whatever, like, literally fought her when she first showed up. So saying he doesn't have scaling to immeasurable is ridiculous. They only put him at MFTL, which made it look like a massive speed disadvantage. Their reasoning behind the speed was bad, and I disagree with them on that for Trunks. As well as AP and Cosmology, it's more sound than they gave it credence to. We know there's infinite timelines. We know there's realms beyond the infinite multiverse, so they would at least be like 5D or 6D. And then you get to like Beats World or Real World, where they scale and they see all those layers below as like a game. It's like a fictional transcendence. They see it as a story. You could say maybe another layer, so you could say 7D, or you could say that's outerversal. Regardless, there's a lot more to the cosmology and a lot more scaling in the cosmology that they gave credit to. They basically said the cosmology for Heroes, there's like nothing to it. Nothing to really talk about, nothing to really discuss. It's not that crazy. I firmly disagree with that. I think Heroes does have some pretty damn interesting scaling for the cosmology and clearly has higher dimensional stuff that they really didn't give credit to. And obviously with the massive speed disadvantage they gave Trunks and the massive AP difference, it's too much. Like, obviously it's going to be a stomp in the favor of Silver. So to that front, I feel like they really screwed Trunks. And it's funny because on my main channel, I get a lot of shit for people thinking I don't like Dragon Ball. I don't like extremists in the fan base that think like Goku solos and they just downplay a lot of other shit. I don't like the extremist aspect of the fan base. Has nothing to do with the verse. I grew up with Dragon Ball. So saying I hate it is crazy. But yeah, no, I definitely don't hate it. And I think they downplayed here. And I think Trunks deserved a lot more credit in the AP and speed department specifically, as well as his sword and weapon can negate items that scale beyond the infinite multiverse. So he does have an argument there based on their scaling for Silver that perhaps he can neg his stuff and abilities on Silver's end. So overall, I feel like they mishandled the scaling for Trunks the most. I'm not saying who I think wins because I think it's arguable, but I definitely think they got it wrong on the scaling aspects and the explanation. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Join the growing coffee shop fan base and members, and join my server. We're at about 700 members, as well as subscribe to my main channel, Jobbers and Goons, if you haven't already. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been your host, Jobbers and Goons, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.